Here is a saved search I've created in NetSuite. Notice I don't have any custom labels on this saved search. I'm going to go ahead and run this, and you're going to see the output looks pretty nice. We see over here that name is returned for the customer name, a type for the sales order, and then the item is also returned here. However, when you run that same exact search and import it into Excel, you'll notice that the column headers are not the same values that you see in NetSuite. There's an easy workaround for that. We'll show you that in a second. Also notice that as opposed to returning a customer name or an item name, NetSuite's Web Services returns an internal ID. That's not very useful inside this report. So let's go ahead and fix that. So here's the same saved search with a couple of tweaks. One, notice that I've got the data labels. So I've got a custom label. So NetSuite's Web Services does respect that. So we'll see now these field names returned instead. So instead of seeing entity, you're going to see customer. In this case, I named this field customer internal ID. And in order to return the company name and the item name, I just needed to join to the company customer and item records. So in this case, I joined to the item and I selected the name field, joined to the customer, and I selected the company name field, and then gave it a custom label here. So now you can see we have customer name, we have item name, all that information is a lot easier to read, which brings us to the last point. NetSuite Web Services has no way of telling us what the column order is, so we just pick it up in a default order that comes from NetSuite, which is unfortunately completely different than your search results. However, that said, most customers are going to actually be building pivot tables, charts, graphs, etc. off this data, so the column order is typically not going to be that important. If it really is super important, then you can go ahead and build a macro, and you can always run that macro to quickly change the column order. Thanks for watching.